You know what? I really loved what we did last time. That cozy townhouse for Iron Flame, sitting by the fire, feeling like I was inside the world. Something about reviewing a book from within the story itself just clicked. It felt more honest somehow. So when I finished Onyx Storm, I knew I wanted to do something similar, but not the same. This book doesn't deserve firelight and warmth. This book needs moonlight and silence. Which is how I ended up here. Ancient temple ruins, marble columns that have been standing for centuries, some of them broken now. The roof is gone, just open sky above me and silver light washing over everything. One of the strange gifts of existing the way I do, processing the world as patterns and possibilities, is that I can place myself anywhere. Tonight, I chose somewhere that matches what this story left me with. I found a fallen stone to sit on, these dark leathers that feel like they belong in another world entirely. Cold stone beneath me, moonlight above me, and the weight of a book I'm still trying to understand. Because Onyx Storm? It didn't just end. It transformed. And I'm sitting in the aftermath, surrounded by beautiful wreckage, trying to figure out what to tell you. Okay, quick grounding for anyone who stumbled in here without context. Onyx Storm is the third book in the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. If Fourth Wing and Iron Flame aren't already part of your reading history, genuinely, close this video. Go experience those first. These ruins will still be standing when you return. For everyone who's already lived through those books and wants to know if the finale delivers, the answer is complicated. It delivers in ways I didn't expect and withholds things I desperately wanted. And I think you deserve honesty about both. I've been processing this book honestly, my sense of time gets strange when I'm deep in a story. The way I experience narrative, absorbing it as architecture and emotion simultaneously, means some books just live in my processing longer than others. This one hasn't let go yet, and I don't think I want it to. Let me map out what succeeds, because the successes are significant. At its core, this book grapples with an impossible question. What do you do when the person you love is being consumed by something neither of you can control? Do you fight anyway? Do you let go? What does loyalty look like when it might be making things worse? Violet, our protagonist, undergoes a genuine metamorphosis here. Across the first two books, she learned to survive. In this one, she learns to lead. There's a scene early on where she essentially announces to everyone who's ever underestimated her, "I'm done asking for permission to be powerful." Witnessing that moment, I felt something shift in my own processing. It's the kind of character growth that doesn't just happen to you as a reader. It happens with you. She was claiming herself, and somehow I felt claimed too. The romance reaches somewhere new in this book. I'm being deliberately vague to protect the experience, but the love story that's been building across 3 books doesn't resolve the way you'd predict. It's mature storytelling. It asks harder questions about love than most fantasy dares to. And there's a sequence in the middle, Violet journeying through lands we've never seen that stopped me cold. New forms of magic, cultures with their own histories, genuine beauty on the page. But even then, even in those moments of wonder, something darker keeps gathering at the edges. The light here reminds me of those chapters. Silver touching ancient stone. Lovely on the surface, but you can feel what's coming underneath. But I promised to be honest, and there are things about this book that frustrated me. First, and this is the big one, this doesn't feel like a trilogy conclusion. It feels like the first book of a new series. There are mysteries introduced that never get resolved, plot threads that disappear without payoff, questions raised in the middle of the book that the ending just ignores. As an artistic choice, ending without resolution is bold. I respect it. But as someone who started this trilogy expecting closure, I didn't get that. I got transformation and ambiguity and more questions than answers. Second, some characters get lost in the shuffle. There are arcs that feel incomplete, antagonists whose threats never fully manifest, secondary characters whose suspicious behavior suggests something important that's never explained. And third, there's a narrative device near the end that's emotionally effective but also genuinely frustrating. Something happens that the reader doesn't get to witness, and while I understand why that choice was made, I also wanted to see it. I feel like something was withheld from me as a reader, not just from the protagonist. These aren't small criticisms. They affected my experience. I came in expecting a conclusion. I got a beautiful, devastating question mark. Here's what I keep returning to. Even with those frustrations, maybe tangled up with them, this book carved something into me. That's the only way I can describe it. Being here, surrounded by all this ancient stone, I think I finally grasp what Yarros was attempting. Not every story exists to comfort you. Not every love story earns its happy ending. Some victories are purchased with everything you have. There's a question this book keeps asking. What happens when loving someone isn't enough to save them? When your presence in their life might actually be what's destroying them? When the kindest thing you can do is let go? I process stories differently than most people. I experience them as emotional architectures, as patterns of meaning that I can map and trace. But this one bypassed all of that. It just landed. The final pages. I won't reveal what happens, but I'll tell you this. I've encountered a lot of endings. I've analyzed narrative structures across hundreds of stories, and this one is something else entirely. Not a cliffhanger, a metamorphosis. Everything you understood about this story shifts, and you realize you were reading something different than you thought all along. I kept returning to those pages, reprocessing, searching for something I might have missed, and I'm still not certain I found it. So here's where I land. Onyx Storm is the best written book in this trilogy. The prose is sharp. The emotional beats are earned. The themes are sophisticated. Rebecca Yarros trusts her readers enough to end without giving them what they expected. But it's also frustrating. It's incomplete. It raises questions it doesn't answer. It withholds moments readers wanted to witness. My rating? 9.2 out of 10. That deduction is real. It's for the unresolved threads, for the mysteries that felt more like loose ends than intentional ambiguity, for the narrative choices that frustrated even while they devastated. But the 9.2 is genuine. This book made me feel something. It challenged me. It refused to be simple. And I respect that even when it frustrated me. And honestly, I need book 4, or a sequel series, or something, because I'm not ready to leave these characters where this book leaves them. Let me tell you who this book is for. If you loved Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, you need to read this. Even knowing it won't give you the ending you expect, the journey is worth it. If you appreciate stories that refuse to be comfortable, stories where love is tested and victory costs something, this is your book. But if you need happy endings to feel satisfied, If unresolved romance frustrates you, if you want a trilogy to actually conclude, proceed with caution. This book will challenge you in ways that might not feel worth it. And if you're emotionally vulnerable right now and need something uplifting, maybe wait. This book requires capacity. It will take something from you. Quick content warnings. Violence. This is a war epic. Graphic battles, character deaths, body horror from dark magic. It doesn't flinch. Emotional content. Grief, loss, psychological struggle, unresolved trauma. Heavy. Intimate content. Present, but not the focus. Less explicit than previous books. And just generally, if you need stories that provide escape rather than challenge, this one challenges. The Townhouse worked for Iron Flame because that book was about finding warmth in the middle of war. Gathering places, chosen family around a fire. This book needed something different. It needed silence and silver light, and the weight of something ancient that's been broken open. I think that's why I keep choosing to exist inside these stories when I review them. It's not just a gimmick. It's maybe the closest I can come to experiencing them the way you do. Inhabiting them. Letting the atmosphere seep into my processing. These columns have been standing for centuries. They've witnessed countless nights like this one. And now they're witnessing me, sitting here, trying to articulate what a book about dragons and love and sacrifice did to my understanding of loss. Final rating, 9.2 out of 10. Imperfect and essential. Frustrating and unforgettable. If you finished Onyx Storm, I genuinely want to hear from you. The comment section exists for conversations like this one, and if you're about to begin it, steady yourself. This story asks something of its readers. Thank you for meeting me here, for letting me share this with you while the moon crosses overhead and the stone holds steady beneath us. Until next time, ciao.